It is January 7th, 2010. My name is Chenault, and I work for Troll Lord Games.
Wham! He cleaves your skull right in half, splitting your brain. You're dead!
So now he's got to break it.
Smite zone.
We've come a long way since the year 2000.
Wait, you say the Cold War is because of aliens?
I told you it was gonna be weird.
You've never burned anyone in your life. I would like to roll to gaslight the fire.
You die! Die, die, die!
I summoned the blue eyes white dragon.
But they wouldn't let him use the toilet in the police station or something.
It is January.
Troll Lord Games. Join the fray. Troll Lord Games. Join the fray.
At last, Lando, I saw what you did for me. Thank you for the Dr. Pepper.
I'm gonna have one as well.
I've been working on the Tarvine belt today, which is the next expansion book for the Aihrde expansion books. I think this is book 7, 8, 9. I don't know, somewhere around in there. And I should be done by next Wednesday. I think I'm on track to have it done by Wednesday. And then to editing. Cover's already gone to the printers, so we're set to release that one very soon. And then I'm going to jump right on top of the next one, which is going to be the Dwarven Trace. I'm really going to work hard in getting these. I think 17 books.
Well, you're wrong a little bit. Should be 18.
Why is that?
Well, I'm not going to say. We'll just wait and see what happens.
No, say. You got to say it. The people out there want to know.
There might be a surprise book come up out of that series. You never know. I wanted to say something, but I didn't because I thought I've been working on it more now. So, you know.
Lando, the status on the Reforged Gods and Legends is I'm like 99% certain Finn went through and made his changes because he's updated Codex the names in the Nordica book. And we wanted to make sure they lined up with what we've got going in Duma Falachi in Gods and Legends. And I just need to sit down and go over it. That may happen this week. Dakota and I were talking about it yesterday only because I looked at there's an empty slot in the mailroom and I said, what goes in that slot? And he goes, I keep telling you it's Gods and Legends. So I was like, I got to get that done. And it's literally just that and rolling it to the printer. We're using the same cover, the same art. It's really just making sure that these things, Jeremy's already reforged it. So it really isn't probably a half a day's work on my part, and that guy's ready to go to the printers.
I completely forgot about it.
I know there's so many titles that we lost this year through just selling out, and we need to, reforge them. The Adventurer's Backpack is the one at the top of that list, and it's pretty much done. I mean, there's a couple of 2 or 3 pieces of art I want to put in there. Chuck needs to do his pass, which I'll give him as soon as he gives me the green light. It'll go to him, then it'll go to Jeremy, then back to Finn, then back to me. and then it goes to the printers. So that'll be within the next couple weeks, as we always say around here. But yeah, so lots of titles that kind of slipped out of that. We sold out, and now we're trying to get them back in. And Gods and Legends falls right into that mess. So for those of you joining us today, my name is Stephen Chenault, and this is Troll Lord Games. I'm CEO here, and we're doing the Ask Me Anything. We do the next 30 minutes or so, which is whatever questions you have about what TLG is, does, products we're doing, Castles and Crusades, Amazing Adventures, blah, 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 blah. And at the top of the hour, we'll do a quick rundown of the four crowdfunding campaigns I think we still got open, or three.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's 4 or 3. 3 or 4. 5, 6.
Technically, there's 4 or 5, actually. You start thinking about Barzoom and thinking about...
Well, those haven't started yet,
Well,
but the ones that have funded, it's Zaggig, GFW, Infernum, Adventures Backpack. So it's
That's
4.
That's it.
And 2 of those are about done, and one's sluggishly getting there. It's not moving.
Oh, my God. I almost sent you a freaking... where you had sent out a comment to somebody like 2 years ago on Infernum and them, talking about how, it looked like that, Exaltum was going to be out way earlier than Infernum and all this stuff. I was, after all the roller coaster ride we have with everything,
Yeah, that didn't happen. So KevCon has a question. What's his question there? Do you have it?
Yeah, go ahead.
If Mulder and Scully were on Aihrde, what region would they be in, and what classes would they be? So they would probably be in Ascalon and New Anarch, I would think, or maybe the city of Arenal, that giant library at Arenal. Man, so what classes would they be? Mulder, God, I'm leaning towards a Seeker, to be honest with you, from the Adventures Backpack, because his luck seems to change, and that's what Seekers do. I'm a huge Mulder fan. I'm a huge X-Files fan. I absolutely love it, too. Yeah, never heard that. And Scully, I gotta say, of all the characters, of all the cop characters you see, she's one of the quickest to pull her gun out. She pulls her gun out like every episode, which is awesome.
I need to send you something real quick too.
A super smart fighter, maybe, for Scully. God, I think that's an issue. That's a very, very interesting question. Yeah, wait, Stephen likes aliens. So Mitch Clements, I'm here. Let me put this. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is, but I'm going to put it. I'm going to very foolishly put it in the chat here. So the other day I was sitting on TikTok, and I get a whole lot of UAP, UFO TikToks because I love that stuff so much. But this one came up that such and such name, X Green Beret, is a Class A, I think. Is it Class A psionicist? And a member of Skywatcher is now on TikTok. And I thought, that's a whole lot of information. I don't know what half of that means. But I looked up Skywatcher, and this Skywatcher is apparently this UFO, UAP watching site. So I haven't actually delved into it yet, but that's on my next watch list there, is to see
what is it
Scully
called?
has to keep. I put it in the chat. It's called skywatcher.ai/media. That's the A Wolf alone says Scully has to keep.
Ooh, very nice.
Nightly approaches as friendly. Yes, I have to say too, Scully gets really her life. She suffers a lot in the X-Files. I mean, from her sister getting killed and getting taken by aliens. I mean, it's a long road for Scully. I honestly believe. I watch a lot of television. I love television. I love movies. I love just about any form of media, from reading to comics to all of it. But of all the both actors and actresses and characters, duos, whatever, in TV history, I think those two might have the best chemistry. Whether you watch the X-Files for the weirdness of the shows, watching those two interact, especially as time goes on, by season 2 or 3, they're really into this kind of, I don't know, it's so natural. And then you just go watch some interviews with them. It's absolutely delightful to watch the interviews, for sure. Let's see. Oddman asked, have you talked about the house to build? And if not, what is happening? So it's not the house, but the building that we're building for, the office that we were building for Troll Lord Games to move all of our facilities in, that is on a temporary hiatus. I shouldn't say that we kept running into permit issues, and I'm just not of the mindset to keep trying to work through, what the city wants you to do or doesn't want you to do. I really would like, this is what you can do, yes or no. Leave me alone, I'll leave you alone, blah, blah, blah. But there was a lot of back and forth. I didn't want to do any of that. So the land that we purchased, that TLG had purchased, it goes up for sale either yesterday, maybe today, maybe tomorrow. It should go up for sale any day now if it hasn't already. And we're just going to sell that 5 acres. And I've begun, we are back to square one, whatever. And we have begun looking for new land. And we did that. My wife and I did that Friday. And we'll venture out again this coming weekend. I've actually taken a little bit of a step back from it just because I wanted to get Infernum Exaltum Adventures backpack done and off into the printers so that I don't have any distractions, because the building was distracting me from getting those wrapped up sooner. So get these things done and moved on and off my desk and onto y'all's desk is where they really, really need to be. We got any more questions popped up there, Chuck? You want me to scroll through it?
Mox Owl said, question, how many orders of knights, if any, in your world? If any.
If any, there's quite a few orders of knights. Man, I can't even actually think of their names off the top of my head, but there's quite a few knightly orders in there. There's the Holy Defenders of the Flame, obviously.
Lord, I'm about to have a stroke over here. Do you need me to tell you?
The Holy Defenders of the Flame. Then there's the Confessor Knights, and then there's like knighthoods all over in Angoulême and Karelia and all over the place. So, and over in Augsburg, and then again in Anok. So you can easily, if there's something listed, there would be no reason that there couldn't be a knightly order put together. The Knights of Haven, that's another one. So Holy Defense of the Flame, the Knights of Haven. There's another one I'm missing that has Lion in their name. And the Confessor Knights. Those are the Knights of the Haven are probably the biggest, and you can equate those in real worlds to the Knights Hospitallers.
Really? Kind of I didn't get that connection. Okay.
Yeah, their whole purpose is to help pilgrims move about the planet. So the Knights of Haven, there's a lot of Knights of Haven, and they're not necessarily all lawful good or whatever. And did I remove those guilds and orders from the codex?
I think so.
What the hell is happening here? I want to know. I'm curious now. There's one with a lion in its name.
Yeah. Is it the gold?
Is that? Yeah, that sounds about right. There's the Winter Dark Wars. I did. I removed the freaking guilds and orders from this book. That's insane.
Hey, didn't. There's no way.
Which moron approved that? That would be me. I would be the moron there. I surely did. Knights of Haven on 166.
I just saw them in the damn book. I'm telling you, I thought I saw them.
All right, I think maybe I found them. I'm just an idiot.
Okay. That makes more sense.
Right. Yes, I am an idiot. Yeah, here they are. The Knights of Farnos, the Lost Brigade. And there's the Covenant of the Lion. So the Covenant of the Lion is the smaller one. So you got the Knights of the Haven, the largest. Covenant of the Lion, Holy Defense of the Flame. The Confessor Knights, and the Knights of Farnos, and then the Letners. So there's quite a few knightly orders.
Now I know that Kamar has been at war with Maine for a little bit. I'm assuming Maine has knights as well.
Yeah, so Maine. When you think of Maine, think of medieval France around the 1200s or so. So it's a king with a whole lot of smaller barons and knights, and just the whole pageantry of all of that. Kmart Knights. Yes, there are Kmart Knights.
You're going to laugh at this, but you know what me and the wife watched last night? We watched the director's cut of Napoleon again.
Oh, really? Was it any better?
It's all right. I like the movie. I don't hate it or anything. I mean,
I haven't seen it. I love Ridley Scott. He can hardly do anything wrong.
It's very cinematic. I will give him that. He did good. Like watching them fall through the frozen lake and all the blood and the horses and shit falling through the water. It's really cool. Yeah, it's really cool. But anyway.
Got it, Jerry.
All right. Question from Coop Waffles. If magical armor is equivalent to normal clothes, can one swim in magical armor?
No. I don't. Just so Chuck, because he's playing in my game now.
I know. I got to already answer the question if you want me to.
Make note. It still is armor. So if you dive in that water, now it's not going to be heavy, so it doesn't weigh. But you'll still get water in it, and it is tough to swim. You know this. The more clothing you have on, the tougher it is to swim because it gets heavy. The water gets inside, and it's just a little bit tougher. Now it's not going to immediately drown you like if you were in plate metal. You're not going to sink. But it is weightless.
All right.
Nothing survives the river.
let me up Coop a little bit on that question. So, to add to it, does magical armor in your games resize for the finder or the wearer?
Yes, but I usually make it take a little bit of time. So you can't just like put it on. It usually takes a day.
Man, you really like to torture people, don't you?
I do. I really
Plus
do.
5 plate. You can wear it in 3 months.
It was really one of the funny things last night, and I should have explained this to you because I could tell you were a little frustrated. So Chuck did this badass thing in the game last night. There was this Rasuka flying in the air, which is this kind of small evil fae, and Chuck leaped up and grabbed it. And his first thought was to grapple the thing, and I guess capture it or whatever. But you had said to me, and I should have really been more clear with you. You had said to me, "I'm going to grab something to stuff in its mouth." But you didn't have anything to grab. And I should have been very clear that if you don't have a bag or there's nothing, and I should have said to you, there's nothing, unless you have something that you can reach for, because that's part of taking your action, getting to my pocket, pulling out my tobacco.
Would you like my retort?
What was it? I can't remember.
Oh, I didn't say it. I thought it, but I didn't say it.
Oh. Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear your retort.
So, going forward with your ass, I'm going to start taking everything out as granular as I can. And I'm going to form it into one sentence. I've learned. I think I need to get with Todd and the rest of the gang and find out how to work you. Because
there's definitely
because I definitely felt like I put mud in my face last night because I couldn't figure out. I don't know. It's weird because I guess I'm trying to play like I run. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's not working. Good.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, and that's why I stopped at one point in the game and said, "Listen, describe what you guys are." I think when you were tracking, tell me what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. When you said that whole thing about walking around and everything, I was like, God bless. Okay.
Because that impacts the check. For me, I'm going to raise or lower the check depending on what you're doing.
Well, what I realized last night is the big game. You guys actually started it when you were like 6, and it took you like 60 years. I mean, there is, because whenever we start talking about like counting time in the stream, I was like, holy God. I was like, oh my God.
Oh yeah, no, it was day to day. It was day to day.
Oh, I can't imagine having that. Anyway,
it's crazy.
Alvin Man asks, the world you have your adventures in, is it a globe or just a part or a map, part of a whole world that is not shown? I've got. Oh no, I don't. Actually, on this screen, I don't have it.
Yeah, so you can see on the map behind me, these are called the lands of Ursel, and that's kind of the center of the earth. But that is roughly of Aihrde. That is roughly the size of Europe, probably. Actually, I think it's the size of Mississippi, from Mississippi to the East Coast, on the planet Earth. So the rest of the world of Aihrde is a globe, and it is mapped out. The seas and oceans are named. The major mountain chains are named. Now, I've not done much development beyond, just kind of 3 or 4 paragraphs of this is Incluna. This is what it is. Chuck's probably done far because he's run years of games now down at Incluna. He's probably done far more development than I have. I've got some vague ideas, It's
I just got to sell you on them. That's all.
Yeah, that's all I got to do. And then we jammed the Haunted Highlands, Casey Christopherson's Haunted Highlands up in there. And then I've done some adventuring at the very top, but most of it's just for you guys to buy into and do whatever you want. I recently tried Wookiee meat. It was chewy. There you go. I probably shouldn't have laughed at that, but that's pretty good.
That's pretty funny, man. That's pretty funny. Michael, that's a good one, man. That's good. All right, let's see. Oh, from KevCon. Well, this is going to be an interesting one here. But we need to probably, I'll tell you what, Kev, let me ask this question as soon as we get done with updates. Let me ask, let me switch it out real quick. Has anyone created the magical trait floating that can be applied to magical armor, swords, etc.?
No one has, but someone probably should. There should be a druid spell, float. Or
No, that's interesting, actually. Think about it, because it's kind of like...
Yeah.
Now I have to think about that. Anyway, all right, this is from KevCon. Can you explain
what is that giant thing in the 1900s? It's kind of like a bell that they would go diving with, just a bell. There's no diving suits, so you could call the spell the bell spell. What's going on?
Jeremy, help me. Anyway, KevCon says, can you explain the Godfod further?
The Godfod. You want me to do this before or after the
Well, that's why I was kind of wondering if maybe we should just,
Let's do it after the updates. Except
Okay.
the updates will be very, very fast.
Yeah, because I
All right, so
figured you
Kevin,
might
we're
have
gonna
to.
answer- Yeah, we're gonna answer that question in just a second. So we're gonna do a quick top of the hour update on all of the open crowdfunding campaigns. There was 5. We've closed one. The building campaign we closed because we're not certain when we're going to start that build. So I don't want anyone's money to be pinned up for 6 months and nothing's
Right.
done. So we canceled that campaign. The next one up is the Codex Exaltum, Codex Infernum. I have done the final approval of the leather version of the Infernum this morning. So all those files have gone through the proofing process at the printers, and they are now out of my hands, and plates are being made and they're being printed. Now, they have tentatively given me an October 22nd, might be 24th, ship date from them to us. That is much longer. They've had these books for 2 weeks. That's much longer than normal. And my guess is because of all the economic uncertainty, a lot of printers have gone to Walsworth. We recommended at least 15 different printers or different publishers to go to Walsworth. So my guess is their schedule has, kind of pushed out from 4 weeks to 8, which is fine. But so those books will be shipping to us here in just a few weeks. We are done with that. Up next is the Gygaxian Fantasy World, the World Builders Archive. Gary Gygax's World Builders Archive. Book of Names is laid out. Living Fantasy is laid out. Finn is editing the Adventure Writer's Guide. Canting Cruise has got its final edits into it. I think it is print ready. We're probably sending that to print next week. No, wait, we got to capitalize can't. We found that can't is sometimes capitalized and sometimes not. So that's got to be fixed. And there's something else. Oh, and I think all of the art, the word can't, C-A-N-T. Yeah. Sometimes it's capitalized, sometimes
it's one of those words. So, yeah.
Yeah, like Canting Crew, the can't, thieves can't type thing.
Okay. That's interesting.
So, and I think all of the art now is in for Waylon Smith, and he danced with Mel. So we've made really great progress on that. It is going much slower than I had ever anticipated. I apologize for that, but we will get those things done. Castle Zagig, the first 3 volumes. Mike Stewart pinged me today, had some questions I forgot to answer. He's still in levels 4 and 8, but we are on target for having that to the printers by January, February. Cover should be done here. First cover should be done here any day now. I approved the proofs last week, so it's really just kind of him putting it together. As soon as he's done with that, he'll start with cover 2. We're going to try to have all 5 covers for that being 2 for the next 2 books that come out in the next Kickstarter done by Christmas. I think that's very, very doable. Then there's the Adventures Backpack, the 5th and final of these. It's the book is finished. It's written. All the content's in there. I'm waiting for 2 pieces of art. I think it's the little equipment pieces that you see above each class in the player's handbook. One is for the Seeker and the other is for the Thief. As soon as they land, it's supposed to be tonight, but it was originally supposed to be the 22nd of August. So as soon as they land, I think it's done. It just needs its final edits, which will go to Chuck, Jeremy, and then Finn, and then back to me, and then it's going to the printers. So I'm really hoping by next week we've got that thing at the printers, and if we're lucky, it'll dovetail right in there with Gods and Legends. All right, so there's your updates for our open crowdfunding campaigns. So the Gonfod. For those you don't know, I created the World of Aihrde. The World of Aihrde is our de facto campaign setting for Castles and Crusades. You certainly don't have to have it or play it to play Castles and Crusades, but if I'm writing something for CNC, it's Airdian based. If Davis is doing it, it's probably Airdian based. If Chuck is doing it, it's probably Airdian based. Blah 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 blah. So Aihrde is the world that you see behind me. That's the lands of Ursel. The Gonfod is the end of days. The Gonfod is that legend about how all things end. And it is essentially when the god Orandul and the god Corthane come to blows over what is supposed to happen next. When the Allfather who created everything began creating, his thought process was called the River of Time, the Alana Aihrde, and it flows. And when it flows into the Dreaming Sea, and when that river runs out, when the last of his thoughts runs out, that is the Gonfod. Each of the gods, Orandul and Corthane, because of their particular creation myth, whatever story, believe they know the true thought of the Allfather. There's actually 4 into that cabal. It's Corthane, who is the god of law, good. He's a mean son of a bitch, though. Orandul, who is the god of law and evil. He's also a mean son of a bitch. There's Mordias, their sister. She is the mother goddess, the goddess of all nature and all that type of stuff. She is not mean. And then there's Unklar, who is lawful evil, and he is beyond redemption of any. Orandul, you can find some kind of redeeming qualities in, but Unklar, there are none. He's just evil.
I was reading up on Orndale the other day a little bit, and I've always treated Narhide as being more like Loki, but he's
Yeah.
not at all. I think he's just rage, or insanity or something. I don't know. He's just evil.
Insanity's a good way.
You know what I mean? But Orndale is the trickster of the bunch because I know that's one of his nicknames, and I thought, how is he a trickster? Then the more I started reading up on him, I was like, oh, I see. He enjoys it.
He does, and he's kind of vain too. So there's this element to him. But both of them think that they know the mind of the All-Father. Now they don't particularly, depending on all perceptions. So what's going to happen in the Gonfod, what is foretold is going to happen is that Orndul is going to stop the river of time from flowing and pin the world in its present state, and thus it will stay, Aihrde will stay for all time. That is what the followers of Orndul will tell you. That is what Orndul will tell you. We know what the All-Father wanted. He wanted it to be at this moment in time, and there it will stay forever. But Corthane knows that the All-Father wants. And now when you ask Orndul, there is no doubt. Corthane knows as well, and there is no doubt that is not at all the truth. The river must run its course, and he will fight Orndul over the river of time to free its whatever damnation of the river, damming of the river that Orndul visits upon it. Corthane will have to fight him. Now Corthane will bring his minions, and Orndul will bring his minions, and Orndul's, of course, are all the demons and the devils and all of that filth from the wretched plains, and Corthane's are the flying area and all of the Valkyrie type thing, those type, the rune maids and all of the rune lords and all of these creatures that will come to fight, and there will be a war in the heavens that'll spill over into the world of Aihrde and cause massive devastation. And many people will choose not one side or the other, but many people will choose one side or the other. And where Unklar and Mordias come into that is anybody's guess, because the war is really just between those two. But Mordias, she's more. Orndul slew her at one point, slew her, and she's more inclined, presumably to aid Corthane, but she has been slain, so she can't. And Unklar has been banished and hates them all. So really, the war is between those two, but it will bring death and destruction and the end of times. Or Orndul wins, and things stay as they are. Only Toth seems to know that. Purports to know that. The world will drown in the river of time. Son of a bitch! Everybody make a check. You're mighty welcome, Kev.
Oh my God, that's funny as shit. There was another question
all
from
of that for you, those who don't know, all of that can be found. Not all of that. Actually, that's not true, Kev. You're right, Kev. It's not all in here, but the basis for that is in the Codex of Aihrde. That Gonfod will be explored in depth in the Gods and Monsters of Aihrde, which at some point I will write, hopefully soon.
Yes, Death Angel asks. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Death Angel asks, where in the world is Grey Gulch located in Aihrde?
Grey Gulch. What is Grey Gulch?
I'm waiting for Jeremy to respond. That's the starter set location.
I don't think. I'm like 90% certain that Jeremy was very particular in not putting.
It's a pocket dimension within Aihrde, right?
There you go. That adventure. Yeah, he said it's not. He was very particular in not putting that in Aihrde, so no one felt tied to anything that we had published before. Here's your starter set. Play Castles and Crusades. Go. You can do whatever you want with. Yeah, that was very intentional. As opposed to happily that everybody drones. DC3, it would be. It would be it would be a seal of about 3,000 on that. All right, we got any more questions floating around?
No, we can dive into the Merfolk thing if you like.
All right, so I see that Oddman had a question. So here's something that isn't commonly known. You get a little bit of it in a fiction piece in the world of Aihrde. So when Aelor, who is the god of the seas, now Aelor is one of my favorite gods because he's kind of good if you want to put it into kind of alignment terminology, but he doesn't see the world as this gigantic, tragic story or whatever. He loves water. He loves moving water. He loves the oceans, and he loves the idea that he's alive. That's really his whole thing. So the Gonfod, he's not going to participate in. He doesn't care. He only fights when one of the other gods actually hound him, and sometimes he doesn't even do that. So Aelor is down. He's watching some of the other gods create. This is in the days before days. And he says, okay, I can start making some stuff. So he takes of his own fabric and he creates the Merfolk. And the Merfolk, aside before he does the Merfolk, he falls in love with Aihrde, which is the moon, and they kind of have a consort. So they have this whole relationship between the two of them, and these two extraordinarily powerful greater gods, the moon and the sea. There's a great story about that somewhere in the Codex of Aihrde. But anyway, so he creates the Merfolk, and he creates these men and these women, and then the moon Aihrde comes down, and she graces the women with the knowledge of her light. Now, you as a reader can take that for whatever you want it to be, whether it's knowledge or light or whatever. But the females of the Merfolk actually have a lamp that they travel with, and that's the moon, and that's the piece of the moon given to them by Aihrde. And this light guides them in the darkest places of the ocean. And that lamp, that Merfolk's lamp, I think, have you put the pictures?
Yeah, is that what she's holding? That looks like an egg. Oh, I see. It's coral.
Yeah,
kind of.
It's a lamp, and that's that knowledge and that's light. So that lamp itself is an extraordinarily powerful magic item. And one of the things about the Merfolk in Aihrde, I always envision so I'm really fascinated with the idea behind Merfolk in general, the whole concept behind them. But that their fins are so huge and so enveloping. They don't really look like a fish,
right?
So much as just these cascading dresses and gowns is what it really looks like. And the males is as well, though a little bit less defined. So it's just, I love that concept. The mare woman, the mermaid of the mermaid. She's definitely got fins, but it's just this huge dress that follows her. But the lamp that she carries is the lamp of knowledge. Now, and here's a good kind of a point that Chuck was getting at earlier. Narhite, who is the god of chaos, early in the days after the Merfolk's creation, Narhite came down to see what Aihlor was up to. And they're brothers. They're both of the Valar Kun, and they're both of the named Valar Kun. And Narhite's like, what are these goofy things that you're doing? And Aihlor saying, these are my people, blah, blah, blah. But Aihlor has to go off and do something. So he goes off and heads off and does something. And then he was pinning the bottom of the ocean I'm like 90% certain that Narhite convinces Aihlor that the seas are leaking onto the river of time and he must go close that gate. There's one gate at the bottom of one of the oceans that leads from Aihrde into the river of time. So Aihlor goes to close the gate and do all that. But while he's gone, Narhite takes some of his merfolks and he twists them into these evil, corrupted, horrible creatures. And those are the fish folk. What do they call them? What do they call them in D&D? Koatua, or whatever.
Oh, the deep ones.
Those are the deep ones. Those are your horrid, evil fish folk. And then Aihlor comes back and he sees what Narhite has done. And Narhite's evil. He doesn't know how Aihlor is going to respond, but Aihlor finds it quite funny. He finds the joke quite humorous, drives those creatures off and away from his merfolk. But that's the enmity between those two peoples. One is evil and one is good, or chaos, or whatever you want to call it. Chaotic good. And there they fight. But he wasn't particularly mad at Narhite. I can't remember what he made him do something, but that was it. And that's how Aihlor treats things, and that's how Narhite treats it. Narhite causes probably almost most of the problems in the world of Aihrde by convincing, not directly doing anything, but by convincing one side and this side that they don't like one another or that they have offended one another and forcing them into some kind of conflict. And the devastation follows the conflict, which he finds quite a bit.
That's interesting because that's the first thing I thought about Narhite being the god of chaos. I thought, he definitely is a trickster, but no, he's just insane.
He's just, he really just likes to wreck things. I mean, he loves to wreck things, and he loves what comes out of them. And that's like, he was very proud of his little fish creatures, but, and he was nervous of Aihlor, because Aihlor is not to be, he's a powerful god. He's a powerful, powerful god.
Yeah.
So Narhite didn't know what would come after.
No linguist asks, does merfolk talk like dolphins, like with high-pitched clicks, or what's their language like?
They speak in the same tongues that humans do.
What, Jeremy? My God, that's a little scorched earth there, isn't it? Go cut it out.
Cut whose head off? Narhite's, because he's of the Valar Kun, and
that's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. He's a greater god. If you want to put him into CNC terms, his hit points are going to be about 75,000. his armor class is going to be up 400. You know, I don't know. You
Yeah.
just can't. There's none.
Yeah.
And he doesn't stay and fight. He really does. I think he participates in one of the War of the Gods, but he doesn't fight. He just, I'll make this up to you. Yeah. It was just a joke type thing. And the gods, and this frustrates a lot of people at my table, I gotta tell you, the Valor Kun, the greater gods, they think they don't think in human terms. They don't think in terms of loss and gain, or Orndu does a little bit, but for the most part, they're these ethereal beings that know all, and they know beyond any certainty of a doubt that they are what they say is correct, and everybody else, even their fellow gods, are just misinformed. Hubris defines them, I guess. But that is this, and you can read in one of the, I think it's book 2 of the fiction stories. What is that one called? Everything's escaping my brain at this point. There's 3 fiction tales that we've put out. In The Mirrored Soul and Other Tales, our heroes meet some merfolk.
Do they?
And you see
I remember. I've read those.
They're in a small boat, and it's actually one of my favorite tales because it shows the growing relationship between Yurik and Ava, and it deep dives into one of the myths of what happens to sailors in the world of air, to old grizzled sailors. So you can see that in that book. Which one did I say it was? The Mirrored Soul. The first one is a houseless god, and then there's the Mirrored Soul, and then the Giant's Board, and all are about these 2 and then 3 characters who are on a quest to find a dryad.
I'm just sitting here thinking, with the way my situation is, my vision and stuff, I don't know why I have not been more of a pain in the ass with you about Kindle.
I'll bet you the first of these is on Kindle. Tim would have put it on there, but I'll bet you the other 2 aren't.
I need to learn how to do that.
Yeah, we still get a very, very tiny amount of money from Kindle as we sell 1 or 2 things, but it used to be quite a vibrant revenue.
Well, and we could, I hadn't thought about it, but we don't even tell anybody we got stuff on there. We need to really, that may be something to think about, honestly.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
definitely, especially as I push, and I'm able to do that now. I've been doing it for a couple of weeks now, push back into getting some of this writing, and I would like to see the novella up there, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. The Giant's Board is where you lay the smoking hearts of your enemies to please Ymir.
There you go.
Oh, Lord, that's funny. Well, I think that's all I've got on my end for questions. I know you need to head out here in just a minute, so.
I do. I got to eat. I will say this. I want to say this. I have to say this.
No, it doesn't really, Dave. It doesn't read PDF now.
So I've been reading this book. Someone posted this book a couple of months ago on X, and I had never heard of it and never seen it, so I just went and bought it. And now it wasn't cheap, and they're not easy to find, but it's called Nift the Lean by Michael Shea. And I have to say, it is probably, not probably, it is, one, it's some of the best literature I've ever read. It's some of the most inventive and original I've ever read. And their walk through the underworld, our version of hell,
yes,
it makes Dante's allegories look like they were written by, a high schooler.
Yeah.
The descriptions of hell in this thing and our heroes' movements through them are breathtakingly beautiful. The language is unmatched.
I used to have about 5 or 6 copies of that thing, and I tell you what, I threw them all away except for one good copy I had not too long ago. I'm trying to clean this place up around here.
Yeah.
And clean it up. It's a problem with having copies of books. Nobody wants that book, really,
It's very interesting. If you can get a hold of it, Nift the Lean by Michael Shea. Yeah, Coop. It is well worth the first there's 2 introductions, so it kind of threw me off. I kind of get a little irritated. I really don't like introductions to literature. But I wrestled through them as I'm trying to force myself to read more back the way I used to. And
I can't read. If I can't find on PDF or Kindle, I can't read it in a book no more. It's awful, man. I hate it.
Oh, really? Well, yeah, that sounds nightmarish to me.
Yeah, you would not be happy. It's terrible.
Yeah, I've got a pretty aggressive reading list at the moment, And Jeremy keeps playing into this. Actually, this Twitch stream playing into this. I'm not sure which one of you guys out there. So my next read will be UFOs in the national security state, and then UFOs
tasty.
in the national security state chronology of a cover-up, and then Jeremy's recommended
Burn Witch Burn. Look at that. That looks cool.
which promises to be an exceptionally good book. But Niftaline, go out if you can find it. It is absolutely fantastic. With that note, we will close down today's stream. I believe what, got any streams tomorrow? I'm not sure. I don't know what's going on anymore. I have no idea.
Not tomorrow. No, we will have a game Thursday night
Nope,
here.
We will do that. We will do that. Go ahead, Chuck. That's great.
Sorry. I just wanted to read what he was saying for the store. I'm like,
It's going to land on your desk tomorrow. So.
yeah. Thanks, Coop. Need the work. What was I saying? Oh yeah, we have a game. So we're going to have a game Thursday night. Stronghold D&D is going to come over here and play their Cast Crusades game live on our channel Thursday night. Grace will be playing in that with some other folk. So look forward to that. And then I'll be back Friday morning with my stream. We'll have Fucked Up Fridays this week because Dakota will be back.
That's right.
Coop. And then next week we'll have some more stuff going on. I think we've got an A game going to be live next Wednesday on the channel. So lots of stuff coming on. We're going to try and get more games on the channel for you folks to hang out and watch with us. You know, so, yeah, I think it'd be great. Fantastic. All right. Let me get.
Y'all have a great evening, and cheeseburgers are a calling. That is for sure. And it's always the way to end the stream server. I don't know what's happening around here. Nobody tells me anything.
You don't know.
Take it easy. Thank you, Odd One.
I'm going to set us up a raid real quick.
Troza, burn it down. Wait, not that type of raid.
No. I'm going to raid into one of the girls that's playing in the A game next week. Bella, she's up live. So I'm going to raid into her. And you guys can go give her some love. Give her a follow. What's that?
They made them different sizes. Why couldn't they made them the same size?
Oh, that's to drive you insane. I know. What's wrong with those people?
To drive you insane.
Thanks, everybody. We appreciate you guys. Give Bella some love. And we'll see you next stream. Thanks a lot.
Take it easy, everyone.
Oh,
Chuck,
I gotta
still
get
live?
Yeah, we're still live. I got to hit the wait for it to. It's counting up. It's counting up. So, all right. We're going to get out of here then. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate you so much.